Okay, so this is a going to be a video breakdown of um, I believe. Oh gosh, I don't know what belt they were. This is the problem with nogi. You don't know what belt people are anymore. I know the guy on bottom, Sam. He's a Samman. He's a purple belt, and Jackson, I believe, is a blue belt. I don't know. Could be a purple. I don't know. I have to double check. I, I'm the one person who should know. But well, let's just see what happens. All right, so let's see how this roll goes here. We kind of started in the middle of the bit. All right, automatically there's some leg entanglement here. Jackson's actually really good at defending leg locks. I would say he's more MMA. So, MMA guys are really tough because they tend to fight out of a lot of things. They tend to be very difficult to submit in general. You can catch them with funny stuff like leg locks and things like that, but any kind of wrestling scramble you really have to have something really tight in general for if it's, these MMA guys are really tough. So, and very scrambly. So, and they usually have a lot of skill. They're very technical because they practice, all different elements of grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, striking. So, it's always fun to roll with them because they tend not to tap too easy. So, let's see here. So we got a leg lock. He's already trying to free the knee line, which is very good. His left hand is on his foot to try to push it down. And the knee line is pretty much compromised at this point. Sam has a good job of holding the heel to kind of suck him back in. This is a common leg entanglement here. Sam is attempting to. It looks like if he does get the knee line, it's going to be double outside ashi, but it's probably just something to hold on to here. Calf slicer. So really good. Jackson did a really good job of controlling that foot and pushing it down to maintain knee line. So. Now he's on top. This is another thing a lot of the MMA guys are really good at. They're always on top, which makes sense. You generally want to be in an MMA fight. So in jiu-jitsu, obviously, it's different. We have the luxury of not getting punched in the face. So let's see here. Okay, he's going to headquarters. Sam's doing a good job of keeping that left knee. Sam's left knee is acting like as a barrier. It's a bit of a shield. He's got good frames. His left frame is good on the inside. Jackson's doing good. I can see his foot there. His right foot's kind of trying to pin the bottom leg. This is going more into a pinning system. So this is good. Still in headquarters. Sam's going to suck that leg up. This is the problem. With playing this kind of high headquarters, it looks like the legs are very vulnerable. And again, like in MMA situations, this doesn't happen too much, but certainly in jiu-jitsu situations, if your legs become light or if your weight distribution is too high, we're going to attack the legs. This is the idea. I always say, like, if you can get hips into face. If you see the person's hips are in your face, you have full access to the legs, no matter what all the 9 positions are available. He's trying to reap the leg, but Jackson's doing a good job of blocking with his left arm so Sam's right leg can't cross over. Sam tried to get a heel there, slipped. Good. So Jackson cleared the knee, went back to the position. He still has to contend with the knee shield. This is why Sam's pretty comfortable here. It's just until he beats that top leg, there's no going past here. He either has to get to the inside, get his chest, his right arm to the inside, and establish inside position on Sam, or he has to clear the nail line by putting the knees together, pushing the knee to the inside like that right there. To push his knees together right there. Not easy thing to do, especially they're both hyper aware of what's actually happening here, where the battle actually is. Again, Sam has that right arm around that leg, waiting for it to become light. waiting for any kind of like his weight to, if Jackson's weight is redistributed to his right side, if he were to fall to his right, he loses to the left leg. That left leg's gonna get sucked in, and Sam's gonna take that leg. Sam's right knee is in a perfect position to shoot straight, and go into a ashigarami position or some sort of leg entanglement. This is good. I like what Jackson's doing here. He's stepping high with that left knee. This is just keeping constant pressure from the person on bottom. Sam's really skilled on bottom. I have a difficult time even passing his guard, if I do, which usually I don't. So, but he has a really good guard. Very difficult to pass. But this is good because Jackson's kind of just keeping that pressure in, stepping high, threatening to switch hips. I'm stepping high. See, be careful with this stretching the legs out like that. Let's see what happens. Good. Knees starting to get pinned together. So this is not something I like right here. This is I see some guys do this. This is see how the two hands are on top of the knee, just kind of pressing down. This is it's just I call this a direct addressment. You're directly addressing the issue. This really doesn't work. I like to use what we call kind of indirect grips, or indirect addressing things indirectly, and or baiting things. Giving a position to gain a position, these type of things. When you do 2-on-1, especially on the knee, just to try to press it down, the guy knows exactly what you're doing, unless you're trying to use it as a trick to set something up, maybe. But just directly addressing what you're trying to get out of the way, which is the top knee, because we know that he can't pass without that. It's generally not a good idea. I like that he's starting to put his chest down on top of that knee to kind of pin it down. He's still going to run into the problem of half guard and Z guard and all the stuff that Sam can produce from the bottom, even if he does get the knees clamped. So let's see how it plays out, because it may work. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. It gets abandoned. And it's not terrible. I mean, it's a good strategy if you're there for 5 minutes trying to pass somebody's guard. Just push their knees down, try to pin them. He backs out. He's pulling that leg up, trying to get a type of leg drag. This makes sense. The problem is Sam is very active with his guard. He still has to contend with that left leg. With Sam's left leg, it's always just popping in, and resetting the position. Plus, Sam's on his right side, so it's going to be really hard to pull that leg up and just get into a full leg drag. Now, what Jackson could do is take his right knee and drop it between Sam's legs, and try to lean to his left and try to take a leg drag with his knees on the ground, and then try to pass that way. But Sam has good connection here, so that right hand right there is connected to the back of Jackson's legs. See, that left leg just comes over top. He really has to deal with that top leg. The top leg and the top arm are always going to be the issue when passing. No matter which direction you're passing, it's always going to be the top arm, the top leg that are typically the things you really have to deal with. If not, you just get reset over and over. Now Sam's cupping over the top of the leg, and he's taking the leg over to get a reap. Jackson's doing a good job pressing the knee down so that he doesn't get the knee line. It's not the end of the world, because Sam could actually produce a sweep from here, like a calf slicer type of sweep position. I'm not a big believer in calf slicers. I think they work for sure. I've seen them work. They've worked on me. But I think just at higher level, you don't see them very often, just because guys they'd rather die than tap to a slicer. So, but I do like slicers for the idea of using them for a pass, or using them for a sweep. You could use them for a pass too, but typically in this type of position, you can actually use it to get an entanglement, get control and connection with that leg, with the slicer, and then attack the other leg. So there's a sweep. See, the slicer can actually produce a sweep. Even though he loses the knee line, it's okay. But see how he automatically grabbed the other leg, Jackson's left leg? He grabbed that immediately because he's probably going to try to grab that second leg. But Jackson's good. He just pulls straight out. Sam laughs. It's hilarious. And there we go. Back to the reset. I like how these guys just, trying to play position. Okay, Sam goes to reverse De La Riva position. Again, Jackson does a good job of pushing the legs down. That's what you should be doing. Okay, good. Sam did a really good sweep there, just a pop out sweep. He's got long ass legs, so this obviously helps him. Any guys with long legs, it's like almost cheating. So he can do things like this really well, and because of the body type. So this is good. A quick little sweep, you can probably produce something, maybe a scramble from it, or produce. Certainly gets a reaction. Say pops up, sits back up, tries to get to a reaping position. Going to a butterfly, trying to get double overs. Got to be very careful here. Jackson pulls his arm out. He's got to watch out for his other arm. Posture's good. Posture's always good. Never underestimate the power of posture, man. Like I've seen this. There's a guy at our at Val that he says his posture can't be broken, and it's very limited. The things you could do to somebody is just like has a very strong posture in your guard. I mean, it's very difficult. Most of a lot of the submissions, guillotines, arm bars, triangles, all these things required for their posture to be down and not have a good spinal alignment. This is so just a good posture can get you out of a lot of things. Another sweep. Okay, now Sam was like, okay, I'm going to take the sweep. I'm going to get on top now. I'm not going to play legs anymore. So now we got an arm. Okay, so now we got the wrestling. The wrestling starting to happen. Get the left arm extended. Jackson's trying to wrestle out. Sam's pinning him down, circling to the side, getting a darce. Okay, he's got a darce locked in. This is another great thing. If you're built like Sam and you're long like that, you can hit darces from a mile away just as much as you can hit triangles from a mile away. It's great. They're both built very similar. It's that darce happened pretty quick. People with shorter arms, they can't do darces typically like that. Certainly we can do darces. I have shorter arms, so it's you can do darces, but it requires a little bit more of a setup that the long arm people can get away. Long arm people can get away with a lot of stuff, but that was great technique. So, boom. So he sits to his side to try to add rotation to get pressure. Most submissions that you're going to apply in jiu-jitsu, if you add a rotational element to them, they become much tighter, much stronger. So if whatever submission I'm usually applying, I try to see if there's somewhere I can add some sort of rotation to it. If I can, then including leg locks, ankle locks, rotation. Heel hooks, obviously, some rotation with the hips. Knee bars, rotation. Triangles, rotation. Arm bars, rotation. I mean, strangulations, rotation. It's kind of a universal thing. So that's why he's flopping to his side, just to suck out any more space. Can you vacuum that space out, and then he's trapping that leg, which is good. His Sam's right leg is popping over top to hold the leg there. The issue he's having here is that Jackson's left arm, as you can see his left elbow poking out. He's opening up. So he's opening his elbow out, like retracting it to his back, kind of. If he can get that left hand out, it's going to be very difficult to darce him, okay? Because that's kind of a defense, is to open up. You don't want that arm crossing over. If Sam's chest was on top of that elbow, like on top of his shoulder, this would have been a lot tighter before he fell, okay? Before he fell to the side. But it's still locked in. So I wouldn't be surprised if Jackson got out of this, but they're just tough guys, but let's see. Okay, so he's pushing on the leg. This is good because he's trying to free his leg, okay, which he needs to do. He's framing out. As long as he keeps that elbow open, he's okay. He can get back up. Good. I like how he squared it on the ground there. So, again, Sam lost it, so he got out. So that was good. Technically good defense. Very good defense. Okay, there's a wrestle. He's going to wrestle up. He's trying to stand up. It's good. So when you're in turtle, if they're in front of you like that with some sort of head and arm or whatever it may be, there's nothing stopping your hips from tripoding up. When people tripod up with their hips, then their head's down, but still they can start moving and start to technically wrestle up. And they're not out of the water, hot water, obviously, because you can still produce guillotines and things like that from standing. But it certainly opens up the position, and you can start to produce probably better escapes. Again, so he hit a darce from the top here. Exactly what I was saying. If you're not out of the water here, you're going to hit a darce from the top. Right. He's out, though. They went off the mat. Yeah. They went across the gym. So that's good. Okay, Sam's going to guard again. Same type of positions. Sam's very good here because he's playing shin on shin. Very subtle. This is a good classic leg lock entry. Good sweeping position. Got a shin on shin. Okay, he's going to lift. Boom. So that was clear that was going to happen. Shin on shin. Raised the leg. He had it trapped. He had the other leg trapped. And then of course the sweep's going to happen. But once Jackson lands, he's going to have to contend with a leg lock. So we'll see which leg lock Sam decides to do, or if he decides to get on top. He's just choosing not to get a leg lock actually because he's not grabbing the foot. It looks like he's controlling the knee line. He's more interested in controlling the knee line. Okay, so now that he lost it, he's getting back on top. So that was good. He could have went to a leg lock position, but he opted to get on top. And this is what I usually say too: is like if there's an old thing that people used to say is like if you're good at leg locks, your passing sucks. And that's a very old school way of thinking. I mean, honestly, you have to have leg locks at this point if you're doing jiu-jitsu or doing any kind of competitive jiu-jitsu. I highly recommend that you study leg locks and you at least get competent at escaping them. If you don't want to, if you're not going to spend a lot of time doing them, the formula for escaping and for dealing with leg locks is pretty straightforward. But the complexity of attacking with leg locks is very complex, obviously. So, but it does make your passing better. Okay, so it's not leg locks will make your passing better because you can go for a leg lock, and if you're good at leg locks, you can come back up and potentially produce leg drags and other types of passes, getting in a better position for a pass. So that being said, he ended up on top. He opted to get on top. He's controlling the leg, controlling the head posture. Okay, Jackson's good, playing a little bit of guard here. Okay, yes, good. I was going to see the delay. A lot of times with guard, people think the guard is they automatically take this defensive position in a guard. The guard is actually an attacking position. I always tell guys this is a mindset thing. You have to consider that your guard is an attacking position, and that when you're attacking, it actually makes the person react. And so you want the person constantly reacting. So your guard should be thought of as an attacking position, not a defensive. Now, in this particular case, there was a few seconds there to where there was no connection made. Jackson didn't make a connection with or establish a guard. And so that he kind of paid the price here a little bit because it looks like Sam has passed because there was a bit of a delay in his connection or establishing some sort of guard. 2-on-1, grabbing the legs, something to make connection to Sam to start to control his legs, especially if they're standing, control their legs to get them off balance. Okay, so if he doesn't do that, then he just starts to push away and push and try to move to gauge distance. Eventually, if you don't make that connection, you're going to get past, okay? And you'll think of your guard as a defensive position, okay? So now we're in side control. Jackson's doing good here. He's got two arms under, so he's got kind of this wheelbarrow position where he could just pop out because he has complete inside position control. Sam is on top, and he needs to get some sort of inside control to a crossface something, underhook. There, you see the two hands going up? Okay, so he had two hands going up. He can start to dump him off and start to create some sort of scramble. Okay, it's not that means he's going to get out. I mean, he could get out, but this is a much better position. Jackson on bottom is in a much better position because he controls the inside position, and it'll at least produce some sort of scramble. As long as he hangs out here, he's fine. He's got to be careful. Sam's doing a good job of tucking his arm behind him, which is kind of preventing him from getting dumped. Okay, you see, he got it to the inside. Okay, Sam switched to ours. Yeah, he's switching to a darts, but he doesn't have it because Jackson's really good at flattening out, like going face down and face planting basically and opening up. I call this like the starfish position. You just kind of open up, and this prevents when somebody starts to get a dart. You just kind of you open your arms like really wide, right, and to create space. You don't want to tuck in at that point because this makes the darts worse. So when you go flat like this is certainly not a great, it's actually technically the worst position in jiu-jitsu is face down flat, not flat on your back. So this is technically the worst position, but he's using it to avoid or to get out of a darce. And now it's just a head and arm. Now it's nothing. So he went back to his guard. Okay, so right, boom. Immediately he established a De La Riva. Okay, this is going to at least prevent the pass from happening for a minute. He's going for an attack. Sam opts to go for a toe hold, which is really annoying because a lot of guys do this and it's effective, right? It changes the game now. We were just playing in the passing game, and now we're going to the legs. And now I got to defend this toe hold because it can be a real threat, that toe hold, even though there's no control over the leg. Sam actually needs to establish some control over the hip line, so that way Jackson can't just spin out of the toe hold. But it is a good counter, and it's a good attack, right? To start to change the dynamic of the roll. Okay, so Jackson has to make sure he can roll here. So Sam lost it. He's on. Little pummeling going on. He's got to watch out for the Aoki. Gets on top. Again, Sam's playing this half. Yep, his butterfly. Jackson got good hips, keeping his hips down, keeping the weight in. He's got to watch it. He's got to be very careful. He keeps getting caught with both his legs. Both his legs are getting caught. And he's been swept a couple times this way, which is not terrible if it's weight's back. This is fine. And he's got good base, obviously. He's got good wrestling, so not the end of the world. There we go. See that hand? Sam's grabbing that leg because he can shoot into Ashi as soon as Jackson's weight redistributes. He can potentially shoot into Ashi. He should potentially kick him back. He can potentially get both legs. This is a constant problem for Jackson passing. See that happen again? He redistributed his weight, so this is a problem. Now it's most likely going to be, at least a minimum, he's going to sit him on his butt, possibly because both arms are over the heels. And you can have good balance here, and he may be able to survive, but he's not going to get submitted, but he certainly may get swept, and he may be able to scramble out of it. But I'd rather not see that happen because it's just not good for you to be just getting swept over like that. Because eventually Sam's going to come up, and then you're going to be having to defend again. So you don't want to keep defending. So what happens here? Boom. Yeah, that was a big sweep. So again, once you get two hands on the legs, it's always usually a sweep. So I'm always a big fan of staggering your position when you come in. Keep your feet staggered, and instead of just coming square, right? Headquarters it's a little different. Your hips are sunk back. But as soon as you saw Jackson move forward, the weights distribution is not correct. Okay, so now there's a scramble, but see now Sam's head is above his, and either Jackson's going to take a shot here and try to take him down, or Sam's going to get him another head and arm control. Oh, they stood up. Good. They're looking tired now. All right, so now Sam is opting with his leg options. He's going into reverse X position. This is a funny position I like to play, and Sam likes to play it too, apparently. It's just a wrap around the ankle. It's very unassuming if you're not aware of this position. If Jackson gets too aggressive and starts to drive forward, Sam can actually invert into a honey hole position and just land into a reap position. Okay, so this is a reverse X, obviously not an X guard. This is a reverse X around the ankle, but can potentially turn into an actual honey hole position. It's not hard to get out of. Look, you just let it go. But it is something that if somebody comes forward, you can start to apply. Again, it keeps coming in, and it keeps getting both legs. Now, Sam can't sweep him here because he's behind the knees, but he certainly can control his hips. He can start to elevate him. Can't pass. That's the issue. He can't pass either because Sam has counter tension with his legs and his arms. Right, his legs are kind of pushing away and his arms are pulling in, so that's counter tension, and he's not going to pass. Sam's doing a good job here of 1-1. Again, yep, that was a good pass actually, but good. Yeah. Okay, that was good. All right, so that was a good. That was a good. There was nobody tapped, so that was great. But there was a lot of great escapes, a lot of good sweeps, good guard, good scrambles. That I enjoyed that. That was really good. There's a lot to learn from there. I think again, I think these guys are purple belts, but they both did really good. So I'm gonna try to do a couple more of these this week, and then we'll keep doing these. Moving on to next week. All right.